Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 yo, go, go, go.
What up, Tower players? Welcome back to another episode of Showboat's Tower. This is number 4. I'm really stoked to show you guys this episode. As you can see, it's at the top left, we got Golden Tower Plus. I've been talking about it forever. It's finally here. But before we jump in, your captain's got an announcement to make. I've just seen a little bit of negativity in the Discord, even a little bit in my guild chat, just a little bit, not calling anyone out. But I've been seeing it in the Discord mostly about ranked play. And so I have to address it before we jump into this episode. I get it. With the release of the Sharp Fortitude module, it's getting harder to climb. Let's just show you what that looks like. So with this module, I get it. For a lot of EHP players, it's really strong. And so if you have it, it gives you a great advantage. So it's a classic battle of the haves versus have-nots. If you have it, you're seeing a lot of progress. If you don't have it, you're seeing a lot of players make progress. And wow, I don't know if you heard that on camera, but that was thunder. Sort of like the Sharp Fortitude module. So here's your announcement. I get it. It's getting harder to climb. The competition is fierce. And for some, it feels like hitting a wall. But here's the truth I come back to every single time. In the tower, you can't go backwards. You only move forward. Every second you play, every day you play, your account grows, your tower grows, your power grows. Whether you rank up or not, your progress is real. And so maybe today isn't a push day. Maybe this tournament, you don't push your performance. You don't get a higher rank. Maybe today is just a build day, a day to enjoy, earning some coins, enjoying the journey, to strengthen your base, and to remind yourself why you started playing in the first place. Like me, I just enjoy the music of the game. I enjoy watching my tower grow. I enjoy strengthening my base and reminding myself why I started playing. These top brackets, I understand a lot of these players in champions and legends. Me personally, in this last bracket, I can't show you right now because the tournament's not open, but my last bracket, I scored, I think it was like 1650 waves in legend, almost 1700 waves, and it wasn't enough to promote. I actually needed like 2000 waves to promote. So I got number 5. Number 4 and above was at least 2000 waves, so I get it. These top brackets, they're feeling like mountains. And like any mountain, they're climbed one step at a time. So, sometimes you find yourself walking sideways, or you feel like you're going in a circle. You might even feel like you're sliding back down the trail. But here's the thing, you're not backtracking. To those players who are feeling frustrated, they're not getting as far in their brackets, you are not backtracking. You're getting stronger. Your footing is getting steadier. Your legs are getting tougher. You're learning the terrain. And when the moment comes to rise again, when you get a good bracket, you will be ready to take on the next step with more power than you had previously. So, to those players experiencing, the cynicism around a new module coming out and making these brackets harder, take a breath, enjoy your progress, trust your journey, and remember, as long as you're playing, as long as you're enjoying it, you're still climbing. You're still winning. Without further ado, I hope you have your life jackets on, because we're just going to jump right into this episode. So let's jump right in. And let me tell you, things have been cooking lately. Because I'm not just sailing anymore, I am gliding across the sea with 83 trillion coins per run. 83 trillion coins. So we've officially passed the baby waves, and we are in deep record-breaking waters now. So let's go back to the home screen. Take a look at where we're at. So if we look down at tier 11, which is where I've been farming, it looks like that was probably my record run at 83.24 trillion. I just earned 82 the run before. But let's talk progress. So what's changed? So first up, let's go to the ultimate weapon page. So you might see the new changes. I have access to the plus upgrades. So no longer is it asking me, would you like to upgrade a new ultimate weapon? Now that I have all 9, it looks like every weapon has its own like 4th button I can click. So I did unlock Golden Combo or Golden Tower. It's the only one I have so far. So I'll scroll down just so you can take a look. But it's the only one I have so far. So the first one was 500 stones to unlock. If I want to unlock the ability to click other ultimate weapons plus upgrades, it looks like it'll be 625, and then it will increase for the next one. I'm not sure what it is after 625. You'll have to look up the chart, but the first one was 500. So I put some points in a Golden Tower plus. And if you've been following the early episodes, you know that I'm doing this kind of earlier than most players would do it. Like, I don't really have any damage installed on my tower. Like, if you look at Chain Lightning, Spartan Missiles, like, Chain Lightning is kind of worked on, but I think a lot of players, even in, like, Platinum, I'm in Champion right now, like High Champion, kind of bouncing between Champion and Legends. A lot of players have better Chain Lightning than me. But like I said, if you've been following the tower or this series, you understand that. Like, I'm pretty focused into econ. Like, you see that my black hole cooldown is maxed, my Golden Tower cooldown is maxed, and of course, the most greedy thing I did was max Death Wave cooldown. That cost several thousand stones. But yeah, I did want to let you guys know what changed, because this Golden Tower, this thing doesn't just shine, it melts. The 3 points that I've put in here, it required a lot of stones to get the 9 ultimate weapons, but after you have them, as you can see, the cost on each Golden Combo isn't very large. Like, the first one was 300, and then 360, and then 430. That's not very expensive, and each one adds, like, I'd estimate something like almost 10% coins and cash to your run. That's incredibly significant. So like I said, it doesn't just shine, it melts. Every upgrade I've made into Golden Tower Plus is making every run smoother, faster, meaner. This is the kind of gear that separates a captain from the rest of the fleet. So I'm probably going to keep putting points into Golden Tower Plus. After that, you know, everyone's talking about a new strategy, which I will maybe talk about later, with Chrono Loop, a bounce web strategy. I'm just learning about it myself. This is something for like really high legends. I'm barely getting into legends, so but I am looking into this bounce web strategy. We'll see if this is something I can bring to you guys later, in later episodes. For now, you're just going to have to look into other YouTubers, but maybe I can bring that to you guys later. And then let's talk this new event. Well, for a lot of you, well, for some of you, it may not be a new event, Retro Wave. I wanted to give a shout out to this Retro Wave event. These old school waves are back, and I'm loving it. Like, I'm an EHP player, so the relics this round were really good. Health regen, cash bonus. I'm in the Golden Tower Plus phase, so where I'm just adding that. So I'm feeling the cash bonus. And then this event has skins for your tower and your background, as well as relics available. Not every event has that, so I was really stoked about that. Health as an EHP player, lab speed. Everyone loves lab speed, so this was a really great event. So I did want to give a shout out because every episode I like to talk about what changed. Getting these reruns, access to these reruns that I don't have yet, that's quite significant for me. So that event was packed with classics, like all those old goodies that are perfect for stacking your coin bonuses. It's like having the tower gods opening a town portal just to bless your grind. There is one more thing I wanted to talk about, just to keep you guys updated. So let's talk labs. If you've been watching the channel, you know that I'm a modules guy. I've been going all in on the modules lately, and yeah, I'll be honest, it's slowed me down quite a bit in the short term. I do have wall thorns in there, just for fun. But yeah, it has slowed me down working on these modules. Like if you look at my history, you'll see there's a little econ in there. But it's really all module stuff. And here's the truth, crew. I'm not playing for today. I'm building for forever. These modules are the real backbone of long-term progression. So let's open up that page real quick. People in the Discord have said, like, you can always earn more coins. But it's really difficult to get back the module progression that you could have had earlier. So I'm trying to do that very early, as I think I could have done it much earlier, but now I'm taking my medicine. And now when this module page opens for me, the 141 and 161 substat, when these substats open for me, the floodgates are going to open. So right now I'm thinking of it like planting seeds. I may not see the harvest yet, but I'm planting my seeds. The roots are deep. A lot of these modules, they have a lot of room to grow. So I remember adding the 4th stat was really huge. So I'm counting that the 5th and 6th will be pretty huge as well. So. But I wanted to keep this episode kind of short because I know the announcement was kind of long. So that's where we're at, crew. Golden weapons, retro events, deep labs, coin stacking bigger than sea monsters. So stick around. We're just getting started. Let's dive into the action and see this tower climb in real time. So anchor's up. Let's get a farm run started and see where that takes us. Because that overnight run, it was kind of a botched run. So let's see what a real farm run looks like, just to give you guys an idea of where I'm at. And then we'll ship this episode out to sea and let you guys have it. Okay, that's a little better after a quick little theme change. Let's jump right in. Alright, crew, here she is, the moneymaker. So for the beginning of the run, I'm just going to be maxing enemy level skip. I'm a defensive tower, so I'm just going to try to reduce the enemy's attack. Sometimes I'll put some points into health level skip, just because. But it doesn't really serve me any purpose. So it'll take me about 2,000 waves to max this. And just to show you where my other stats are, how I do things, if you haven't been watching earlier, my free upgrades are zeroed out, so I can be in control of what I have. So a lot of these stats are like really high, so I can just gold box them fairly easily. So like healthy regen, that just cost me a couple thousand. I don't put knockback, I don't put orbs, I don't put shockwave, and For most of the run, I don't use landmines. I'll use them later in the run when I want their stun. But for most of the run, I don't use them. And then, as you can see, a lot of my attack stats are zeroed out. Oops, I think I forgot to switch the cash card. Might need that. Okay, so now I've got the cash card in there. I should be making a little bit more money. But a lot of these stats I keep zeroed out just because like I don't really use damage on my tower for anything. If I want, I could increase the damage that Death Wave is dealing. But for the most part, I just increase enemy attack level skip for the whole run. I don't really do anything else. So we'll check back in when that is maxed and see what else we gotta do. There it is, the moment we've been waiting for. So I had to step away from this run, so I didn't get the footage that I wanted to of getting the run set up around like, I think it's wave like 2500. I stopped picking perks and stuff. But I wasn't able to get that footage, but that's fine. It looks like the run's ended. 88 trillion coins. So that's another record breaker. I think the last one was 84. That was a record. I was kind of expecting more from this run. So yeah, this run didn't exactly go how I planned. As you can see, I usually get around 8,900 waves. This run got 8,600 waves. So I did forget to upgrade the enemy attack level skip, and that held me back from reaching as far as I usually go. But even with that misstep, I still made more coins than ever. So that's awesome. But that's just kind of the power of building a solid foundation for your tower. You don't need perfection to keep moving forward. You just need a little bit of progress. And progress is all about what this channel is here. So I'm going to exit out of this, and I actually want to show you guys something different because these end of wave stats can be kind of deceptive. So I'm going to see if I can bring up this tool. Let's see if I can bring this up. I haven't done this in an episode before. Okay, so what I have open here is my what tier should I farm tool. So if you want to use this tool, just go on Google or whatever search engine you use and look up what tier should I farm the tower, and it should be like the first or second result. But anyways, I'm just showing you guys the graph it makes here. It's pretty straightforward to use. And so on the bottom here, that's when I like tier 9. I think it's the only run I have on tier 9 on this list. But that's when I first started recording the episode. So I did want you guys to see that. Because back then I was barely breaking through tier 9. Now I'm farming way beyond what I was farming. Like if you look at the coins, so on the second column all the way on the bottom, you'll see I was earning around 9 trillion when the series first started. And then if you go all the way up to the top in the same column, I haven't put the last run in for 88, but it looks like I'm doing about 82. Now I have Golden Tower plus 3. The last run recorded was with 2. But you can see I've upgraded my coin production by like 9 times. And then even if you look in cells, so let's scroll over kind of towards the middle. Cells were all the way on the bottom, you'll see it's 67,000, 67K. And then they kind of slowly creep up. Now I'm doing like 230,000. So it's not just my coins that are increasing across the board. It looks like coins, cells, as well as, you know, how fast I'm making them. That's all increasing my tier. But I did want to show you guys this tool because it kind of like ties into the theme of this episode, you know, because this isn't just progress, this is momentum. And that's what happens when you keep showing up and you keep, you know, refining your strategy, you keep loving your journey. Whether your run goes smooth or sideways, just remember every farm, every stat, every tool is, it's a part of your journey. And you don't need to be perfect to win, you just need to keep climbing. So anyways, I find this to be a really useful tool for me to decide what tier I should farm. I think by the next episode, I will have tier 12 on this list. It's mostly dominated by tier 11 right now, so I probably will put a tier 12 on the board just so you guys can take a look at it. I kind of already know what the result will be, because I tried pushing for the tier 12 relic a while back, and that was actually quite difficult. I barely got to 4,500 waves. You'd kind of expect, because I got tier 11 to 9,000 waves, you'd kind of expect for me to be able to farm tier 12. Tier 12 is really difficult, so I cannot do that yet. But for the next episode, I probably will put tier 12 in the video. But until then, you know, I want you guys to keep climbing, keep playing, keep enjoying the game. Shout out to my friends, Death, Hattie, you know, the players in Discord, my guild mates, you know, shout out to everyone still playing the tower. This has been your captain, reminding you that growth isn't always loud, but it is happening. Until next time, keep farming smart, stay steady, and trust the voyage. See you next time, guys.
Push past all the pain and you'll find a door. Open it up and finally explore.